It's been really enjoyable talking with GlobalSpa today. We've always had interesting conversation discussions, and they have conveyed whatever is discussed extremely well over the years, and I look forward to seeing more.
Chiva-Som is a luxurious wellness resort situated in Hua Hin, Thailand. It is popular for a holistic approach to health, which includes wellness treatments, spa therapies, health activities, and wellness cuisines. Today, we have the pleasure of talking to Mr. Krip Rojanastien, Chairman and CEO of Chiva-Som. We warmly welcome you, Mr. Krip. How are you doing this morning?
Very well.
Okay. Firstly, we'd like to congratulate you for Zulal Wellness. It is apparently the biggest wellness destination resort right now in Middle East. So how did the idea of opening Zulal Wellness came?
The sharing of the vision with the leaders of the country in attempting to improve the wellness and health of their population. And also their recognition that in order to be at your best, you need to be well.
Right. I also figured out in my research that it is the first center which is working with traditional Arabic and Islamic medicines.
That's true.
Which is, I think, is a great feat. Please tell us something about that.
Well, traditional Arabic and Islamic medicine, in short, TAME, happens to blend in very well with our wellness model.
Yes.
Because it focuses on dietary, nutrition, exercise, they call it movement, rest and recovery, stress management. All the key elements in our wellness model are there. So the treatments and programs delivered may be called a bit differently.
Yes.
The techniques may slightly differ, but the objectives are the same.
That is so true.
Yeah, so it's a very good fit, and Arabic medicine is about 1,000 years old.
Yes.
It was written by a gentleman called Ibn Sina, who had traveled far and wide to China, India,
wow,
and hence incorporates a lot of the principles of traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, plus all the wellness traditions in other parts of Asia, before he went back and wrote the book, Canon of Medicine,
wow,
which is a platform for Arabic medicine up to today.
Oh, wow. Okay. Something that you think is the essence of an Arabic medicine, the philosophies that they follow. What is in your learning? What do you have found as the essence of their medicine practices?
The essence of TAME?
No, the essence of the medicines. I mean, what is the base philosophy of Arabic medicines?
Well, using the indigenous herbs and spices and all the great superfoods of the Middle East.
Right.
You're talking about figs, dates, olives, honey, all types of seeds, camel's milk, goat's milk. Wow. Using the indigenous elements to promote the health and well-being of the people. And of course the environment, the desert, it's I think it's largely misconceived by the world. A lot of people, it's hot, it's arid, and it's not a pleasant place to be, but it's not like that. It's quite pleasant, almost year round, apart from the few months when it does get hot.
Right.
But otherwise, it's like where we're sitting now, 25 degrees.
Yes.
Maybe cooler in the evening.
Okay.
Very pleasant, and there's nothing around it. There's absolute quiet, peace, tranquility, And they do have plants there, that can grow. As you know, that in the Middle East, way back when there were oases.
Right. Yeah.
And Zulal is a bit like that. It's a bit of a green area.
Right.
But of course, with all the facilities, accommodation for people and wellness facilities, equipment, trainers, experts, those who are bent on finding that optimal balance of mind, body, and spirit.
Which is so important. For holistic health, that balance is very important.
Yeah, it is holistic. It's a holistic approach, just like Ayurveda is, traditional Chinese medicine is, and a lot of the Southeast Asian medical traditions.
Yeah. Both the properties offer wide range of wellness programs. We talk about Chiva-Som and Zulal Wellness also. Can you name one or two of these programs which you think are most innovative and are your personal favorites?
Oh, the latest one must be genomics.
Okay, yeah.
It's about reading the genes, the genetic code, of each and every one of us, and looking for the mutations or the variations to determine your predisposition
Wow.
to certain type of illnesses, diseases, right? Or any rapid deterioration in your body. And then, coming up with a program, treatments that help mitigate these risks. And it's basically looking forward, to what might be, in 5 or 10 years or longer than that. It's not just looking at what's happening now.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of science behind that now. They call it anti-aging, which we don't like very much. you don't anti-aging. You age nicely.
Right.
But anyway, it's about knowing what you have now and what you might have in the future and what you can do about it by reading the genetic code.
Wow.
So that's being offered.
And that's all natural, right?
Yeah, it's a swab.
You're doing it in tune with your body type, your genes, which is such a right way of doing it.
Right. It's a study of the genes, and which tells you a whole lot. I mean, it doesn't just tell you about your health. It might tell you how much genes you have from your ancestors. If you're from India, or you might be from some of your ancestors might be from somewhere else. It will tell you that you have the genes from that country, that region, or whatever.
Oh. Yeah. So particularly intrigued, I'm intrigued to know what a program like this. How many days does this take for anyone to come get the study done about ourselves? Myself. What is a typical stay that one would want for something like this?
The test itself is very simple. It's a swab in the cheek. The results will take maybe 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a qualified physician will read you the results and discuss whatever solutions or remedies may be available and that are suitable for you.
Wow.
For you in particular.
Yes.
Now that's one innovation. But the other one that Zulal is very proud of is family wellness.
Which is so important.
Yes.
Family it's a beautiful concept.
And we think that wellness should be for everyone.
Right.
Not just for those who can afford to come to wellness resorts or clinics or whatever. It should be built in, very early on in the life of a person, in the formative years.
Right.
So that it helps build a mindset.
Yes.
To go forward with, and it helps you make sensible decisions about your life.
Right.
You're making your lifestyle choices in a sensible way. Like the food that you eat, what is junk and what is not.
Right.
And it's a conscious decision rather than being ignorant about it and thinking that's okay when it's not okay.
It's not.
And the other important issue is to help the child get used to managing stress.
Which is so important.
Yeah, because it's going to happen, right? It's going to come at him the rest of his life. When he grows up, he passes the exams, he goes to university, gets a job, the career is on him, he's pushing ahead, all kinds of stress. How do you manage that? And ultimately, how to be at your best,
Right.
every day.
Right.
And you cannot be at your best if you're not well.
Right.
What's the point of having gone through some rigorous studies, years and years, come out, start a job, and you find yourself suddenly diabetic?
Yes.
What a shame.
Right. So true.
Yeah, and someone like that, is not functioning at its best, and it's a shame to lose all the resources, and then to look at him in the future, how his life's going to shape up. He's not going to be doing his best, or achieving the goal that he wants.
Yes.
Because he's being held back by a chronic illness.
Yes.
Right? Which can be addressed, by the way, in a holistic way.
Wow.
Because that's going to the root cause of it. What causes diabetes is the food that you eat, right? A lack of exercise.
Right.
You can still reverse that with wellness.
And if the family as a unit comes together,
yeah, and
I think it's a beautiful proposition.
We're very cheered to hear that 77% of the elderly Indian population
Yes.
live with their family.
Yes, we do.
With their sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters.
Yes.
That's I think that's perfect environment for family wellness, to be living well together, to learn from each other, how to live well. The grannies can share something.
Yes.
With the children and grandchildren, for sure.
Yes.
Because they carry the legacy, they're passing it on. All the knowledge, the wealth of experience they've had, the stories of the past, the history, passing on. Children, on the other hand, can absorb, the knowledge, how they came to be, and how they're going to go forward.
Right.
And how they go forward is key.
Right.
How they go forward without chronic diseases.
Yes.
How would they have to lead their life to achieve that?
Yes.
That is key. And then, the sharing the knowledge becomes something that is dynamic.
Right.
And it's lifelong.
Yes. And it's so unique to that particular unit as a family.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is unique, right?
Yes.
And no one is like anyone else. So you also learn that is what it is. You're not like anyone else, and so what you need to do for yourself may be a bit different from
Right.
the other people.
Right.
But most of the time, people into wellness, they practice some same fundamental principles, which I hope that will get spread out, to the schools. Why don't they have subjects, called wellness and sustainability?
Right.
Sustainability is the other issue that we all face, right? We're facing critical issues.
Yes.
99% of the world's population, according to World Health Organization, breathing bad air. I mean, air that exceeds their limits.
Yes.
In terms of pollutants. And then, such a large percentage of people in the world now are becoming elderly, 60 years or older. What are you going to do if they get sick?
Right.
And there's no economy that's going to be able to handle, so many people who are sick with health care.
Right.
It will cripple economies.
Yes.
A lot of countries are facing that right now. They're spending a large percentage of their GDP, on healthcare, and now beginning to realize that that is no longer sustainable.
Right.
Right. So, and we always believe that wellness goes hand in hand with sustainability. You cannot achieve wellness when your environment is toxic.
Right.
Right? You might have respiratory disease, you might have something else, because there's threats everywhere, right? Bad air, microplastics,
huge problem. Yes. It's a global threat.
Ocean acidification,
Yes.
Shortage of food supply, shortage of fresh water, shortage of fresh water will break up, not just the waste management system, but it's could be a spread of diseases,
Yes.
resurgent diseases like cholera. All this is going to hit us while we're pursuing wellness.
Right.
Yeah. And we'll just completely, disrupt or destroy our efforts. So wellness and sustainability, they go hand in hand.
So, I was doing my research and I realized that Chiva-Som is doing a lot of things around sustainability. Please tell us something, or, an initiative or two that you can tell us that that very dear to, the philosophies followed at Chiva-Som and Zulao Wellness.
We treat the basic elements or commodities, very seriously, like water,
right,
fresh water.
Right.
In Hua Hin in Thailand, we've always treated our wastewater 100%.
Wow.
And then recycle it to water the plants in the resort. So we use the same water twice.
Okay.
And we don't release any wastewater out into the public pipeline.
Wow.
We don't do that. Zulao uses desalinated water.
Okay.
And they don't use the fresh water underground, which they do have.
Right.
But it's calculated to be depleted within 30 years.
Oh.
And they don't do that. And they have two huge lagoons filled with brackish water, which means water seeping in from the sea.
Right.
So that's one example. Chiva-Som Hua Hin has been on solar energy for water heating for 20 years now.
Oh, yeah. That's commendable. Yeah.
That was before it became the trend to talk about solar.
Exactly. Before it became the buzzword in a way.
Yeah. And of course, in the Middle East, solar is tailored for it.
Right.
And Zulao will be leveraging that, quite soon. And apart from that, waste treatment.
Yes.
We believe in minimal waste or no waste, practicing the same. And being organic. We have an organic farm in Hua Hin. There are two of them actually. One of them is small, but it's kind of more of a demonstrative, to the clients what we're doing, how we do it. It's only about half an acre, but the other one is 10 acres. And it's about an hour away from the resort, and it has all the basic fruit, the bananas, papaya, mango, coconut, and it's got all types of vegetables, right? Herbs, spices that we need for our kitchen.
Wow.
It supplies our kitchen. Now, you might ask why. What do you mean by organic?
Right.
You could say that. What do you mean by organic? Because everyone claims it.
Yes, everybody. It's the buzzword. It's a fancy word to use these days.
Yeah.
Organic.
So we went through an audit by an organization called International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement.
Okay.
IFOAM in short. Right? They're based in Bonn, Germany.
Okay.
And they audited us for 3 years. Show the guests that what they're getting as ingredients in their menu, truly organic. And then going to the food, the key principles that both Hua Hin and Zulao follows are: one, there's no oil in the cooking.
Okay.
No refined sugar, no dairy, no gluten.
Oh.
And yet we can produce the kind of food that you would call tasty.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes, we've heard about food at Chiva-Som. Yes, it's very good.
I mean, if it's not tasty, people are not going to eat it.
Right, right.
And if they don't eat it, then what's the point, right?
Yes.
And there's no wellness because eating is a very basic entry into wellness. And the
Right.
first thing in the morning, what do you eat? That's already your first step.
Right.
The rest follows, the movement, exercise, and finding that peace and tranquility. A lot of people are stressed out, and how do you manage that?
Right.
All sorts of methods, from meditation to Tai Chi, and then how to rest and recover very well, for the
Yes,
next
that's
day.
equally important.
Yeah, the damage has been done to the cells, the body. That day, the damage should be repaired by deep, long sleep.
Yes.
And then on the next day, you can be at your best at whatever you intend to do.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You're a second generation into in taking care of Chiva-Som. I want to know a bit about the family culture. When your father started Chiva-Som 30 years back, it's almost 30 years next year, right? So please tell us something. What's wellness, lifestyle what is it like important part while you were growing up?
My parents always pursued it.
All right.
The place where Chiva-Som is now was a beach house.
Yes.
Okay, where we used to spend vacations. And when we did that, there would be relatives, friends who come and pursue what you could call the wellness lifestyle.
Right.
And they ate well, they exercise a lot, all sorts of sports. I remember badminton, tennis, basketball, jogging. They were already into it at that time.
Right.
And then, good deep sleep. Basically, the aim then was to recharge, for the following week when they get back to work.
Right.
Yeah. So the fundamentals have always been there.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we grew it into Chiva-Som, it's basically, putting a lot of the science, expertise, skills, facilities, equipment behind the effort.
Right.
And then integrating them, in such a way that it's suitable for each individual. Then, we don't treat people as all the same. We treat each one as a special person with personalized solution, to achieve their goal. Yeah.
From the time 30 years to now, the wellness industry has gone through a sea change. A lot has changed. What do you think has worked with Chiva-Som that it has stayed as a top facility, a wellness destination since so many years?
We think about, what might be in the next 10, 20 years.
Right.
Where we are now, what do we have?
Right.
And then, most important, what are the people's needs? In the current society, the world that we live in, the environment that we're in, what do they need? And we think about, the solutions for that going forward. And the world is rapidly changing.
Right.
So why shouldn't we?
Right.
Right? Change is something that we should embrace.
As they say, change is the only constant in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day you could change. You could do
Right.
something new.
Right.
And that's probably the challenge or the beauty of life.
Right.
That you can evolve. You can do something new, creative. If you put your mind to it, or if you're well enough to do it.
Right. Our generation the current generation saw COVID, which was one of the biggest pandemic of the current times. There's a renewed interest in wellness and ancient practices ever since COVID struck the mankind. Would you agree with this? And how do you see the wellness industry has changed post-COVID?
There is definitely an awakening.
Right.
Especially in huge markets that were not perhaps as responsive to wellness as before. It's really an awakening, as a wake-up call. We have to have wellness. We have to have a good immune system to resist whatever it is that might attack next, and you never know what might be the next one and when it might happen. So the best thing is to have, you know, wellness and a good immune system. And then, you know, they start to understand it's not just medicine, right? Because medicine takes away the symptoms that you have.
Yeah, you're right.
The aches or the discomfort, the pains that you have, right? It does not go to the root cause. You know, like I mentioned earlier,
Yes.
Diabetes, yeah, you could be shooting insulin or whatever, you know, on a daily basis, but that's not going to the root cause. That's just fixing, you know, giving the body the insulin because what it has, it doesn't work anymore, right?
Right.
It refuses to process sugar and then convert it into energy into the cell. And the cell carries the energy, you know, throughout the body. It refuses to do that. So you have to have insulin injections. Now, to get out of that is not the injections,
Right.
but it's the way you eat, the way you conduct your life day to day. And then the understanding, I think, that will take people, you know, towards wellness. It's not, you know, it's not rocket science, you know. But I think it's been a kind of a perhaps misperception that medicine can do everything. Well, you know, why would I need you? You know, I got something on, I go to my doctor. Oh, yeah, they would give you a prescription, yes, which would take away what you have, but that's temporary. If you want to get out of it permanently, you have to recognize, you know, the healing power of your own body.
Right.
You know, how the body can do that. And please allow it to do that.
Yeah.
By understanding what it is you have to do.
Right. Right. So, of the Indian practices, can you name a practice that you really believe in or which is largely practiced at both the facilities, Chiva-Som and Zulal Wellness?
I love, you know, the meditation part.
Okay.
And in fact, we have an Indian practitioner.
Oh, wow.
At
That's good to know.
Chiva-Som Hin, yeah.
Right.
He's been training me how to meditate, you know, all these years, yeah.
Yeah.
And it has worked. You know, that's the most important thing, it has worked. And when there's a lot of stress, I know how to handle it better.
Wow.
Just recalling what, you know, what he taught me. I love that part of it, you know, the mind side.
Right.
Yeah, and of course the diet and the exercise and the movement and the, you know, the bowel and, you know, all that is great. I mean, wellness traditions have so much in common.
Yes, that is true.
In Chinese medicine, a lot of it is the same. Thai traditional medicine also takes a lot of these principles from the two, you know, major medical traditions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the fascinating part is that, you know, if I'm talking about meditation, do the Thais have meditation? Yes, they do.
Yes.
They have, you know, meditation centers, you know, all over, and practice it. And yeah, it is stress management is fantastic. You know, you're in the office, it's all coming down, and how do you do that? Breathe. The breathing technique is amazing.
Yes,
I recommend it for everybody. You know, but you have to know how to do it.
Right.
Let the practitioner advise you. Yeah. But each person is different.
Yes, it's different.
Yeah.
We all are made in a very unique way. All our bodies are unique. Any plans of bringing Chiva-Som or any way into the Indian markets? Would you like to explore the Indian market further?
Well, it's always, you know, fascinating, you know, coming to India, and you know, the diversity, not to mention the size of it. Right? Yeah, of course, we would welcome opportunities, you know, to do something here. I mean, it could take, you know, many different forms. It could be, you know, a wellness resort. It could be, a city retreat.
You know, when we talk about wellness, globally, the market is exploding. You know, there's just so many competition. For instance, there's Shaw Wellness, there is, you know, Viva Mire. So how do you think Chiva-Som has an edge? What is it that makes Chiva-Som ahead of their competitors, or how do you plan to keep it ahead?
Ahead, if you recognize it that way, that's great. I accept it. I don't know. To me, I think that competition, breeds quality,
Right.
and I welcome it.
Right.
That there are other centers of excellence around the world. I know a lot of them personally, and then we should be all looking for the best, for the clients, potential clients, for the world. When we talk about spreading wellness in the world, we should all be engaged in that. We can do it together. I'm not thinking of whether we stay ahead or not, but I just think that together with all our expertise, experiences that we have acquired over the decades, that can be leveraged for the general benefits of the world population.
Right. What next for Chiva-Som? What is next? Something new that you can tell us?
Well, in concrete terms, we're thinking epigenetics. I told you about
Yes,
genomics now.
yes.
Epigenetics is something that is also interesting. It's about how the environment that you live in, right, has affected you genetically. It might tell you your real biological age,
Right.
as opposed to your chronological age, things like that. So we are thinking about how holistic we can make it. The proposition of wellness, not just now but the future, what you can do about it, and we're looking to collaborate with educational institutions.
Wow.
Because if you want to spread wellness, as I mentioned earlier, I think why is it not a subject at school? Wellness and sustainability, when it so much depends on these two, for the survival of the planet.
Right.
Why not make it a curriculum, something that you could take all the way to university and pursue a career
Wow.
with it? We have to talk to the educational institutions. And in Thailand, we already started, and in Qatar, they've started as well. Working with the schools, just at first to allow, say, the government to see how it actually works on the children.
Yes.
How does it make the children better adjusted for what's coming, to be
Prepare a future generation which is healthy.
Yeah.
And prepare for the future that's going to come up.
How well they can meet the challenges ahead, how productive they can be, for
Right.
society.
Right.
And I think wellness and sustainability have a key part
Right.
in the child's education.
Yes. That's very important, actually. Well, thanks for talking to GlobalSpa.
Thank you.
Yeah, really pleasure talking to you, and I got some great insight, especially when we talk about genetic science to make our future better.